Welcome to the Pastor on the Beach. My name is Stuart Milton. Have you ever heard the legend of the Touchstone? According to the ancient legend, if you could find a touchstone on the coast of the Black Sea and hold it in your hand, everything you touched would turn to gold. You could recognize the touchstone by its warmth. The other stones would feel cold, but when you picked up the touchstone, it would turn warm in your hand. Once a man sold everything he had and went to the coast of the Black Sea in search of the touchstone. He began to walk along the shoreline, picking up one stone after another in this diligent effort and intentional search for the touchstone. He was consumed with the dream. He wanted desperately to find this miraculous stone. However, after several days had passed, he suddenly realized that he was picking up the same stones again and again and again. So he devised a plan. He would pick up a stone. If it was cold, he would throw it into the sea. And this he did for weeks and weeks. One morning, he went out to continue his search for the touchstone. He picked up a stone, and it was cold. He threw it into the sea. He picked up another stone. It was cold, and he threw it into the sea. He picked up another stone. It turned warm in his hand. And before he realized what he was doing, he threw it into the sea. That's a good parable for life, I think. We make our plans, and we begin to put them into place. We get into our routines, and we don't want to break them, and before we know it, we are doing the things because we've always done them that way. Then God comes to us, surprises us, warms not our hands, but our hearts, and we notice it for just a moment before we throw the experience away, forget it, and realize that too late, we missed it. James wrote, "And now I have a word for you who brashly announce, today, at the latest, tomorrow, we're off to such and such a city for the year. We're going to start a business and make a lot of money." You don't know the first thing about tomorrow, James writes. In other words, he reminds us that we can have a plan and decide we are going to do this and do it our way. Yet in doing so, we don't leave room for God to speak to us, to change us, to work on our lives. As we move into these last days of the Lenten season, I hope you will pause and listen. Stop and leave some opportunity for God to move into your life. I hope you will not get so busy with your routine, doing things your way, that you won't allow God to speak and then realize too late that you missed a blessing or plan that God had for you. As we get ready to be reminded of the greatest events in the history of the world, let us not throw them away because they don't fit into our routine. Instead, let us cherish them and seek and search for God who will warm not our hands, but our hearts and allow us to be blessed beyond measure. My friends, be blessed and let your light burst forth into your world as you search for Him. God bless.